getting genuinely mad at me for wanting to go to college and said that if I went to college, he would break up with me.
Told me that I need to stop dressing a little hoish and really fix my appearance.
Hi, guy came to install our internet. He made me FaceTime him the entire time because he said that I might try and sleep with him.
He asked me, can I please download Tinder? All my friends are on it. I was like, oh my god, how cute. At least he's asking me. Most guys don't even ask.
Whenever I slept over at his house, he had one pillow and one blanket, and he refused to get more, and I would have to drive an hour to see him.
Because he had my location, he stalked me to my friend's house. He showed up at the door, and I was staying at my friend's house, and he actually
Complaining about paying for our $10 rental shoes the whole night. They were like
silent treatment, not for hours, not for days, but for weeks.
Here's some things that my soon-to-be ex-husband used to do that I didn't realize wasn't normal until after I left. When the Wi-Fi guy came to install our internet, he made me FaceTime him the entire time because he said that I might try and sleep with him, and then he still accused me of sleeping with him, saying that I could have slept with him before I called him or after I hung up the phone. Didn't tell me happy birthday until right before I fell asleep on my birthday, 2 months after we got married. Gaslit and manipulated me into not having a job and said, I just want you to be a stay-at-home wife. And then when like money problems would come up or any kind of issue with me would come up, he would complain about how I didn't have a job and how I'm just mooching off of him. Only came home and ate dinner with me maybe twice a week because he was at his parents' or his brother's house. He did not get me a Christmas present, but instead he gave me his debit card and said, don't know what you want, you got $50, go get yourself something nice. Complained and told me that I was folding his clothes wrong when he never ever did laundry, wash clothes, nothing. He told me over a year after we'd been married and I was pregnant that he wanted multiple wives, and then he was upset that I was upset about it. Got pissed when my parents bought us groceries one time. Told me that he didn't believe that our son was his son, and when I said get a paternity test, he said, I don't even want to because it could be so close to my brother's DNA that you probably slept with that it would just say that it was mine and I would still never know. When the electricity went out on 2 of our rooms, including a bathroom, and our washing machine was broken, and I tried to get him to fix it for about 9 months, he told me that I should have been more grateful and that it was a test to me because people back in the olden days didn't have that kind of stuff, so I should have just been grateful that I had it in the first place, even if it was broken. Okay, that's all for now. Bye!
Things our exes did that we thought were normal. Getting genuinely mad at me for wanting to go to college and said that if I went to college, he would break up with me.
I put that down!
I can't have no future.
Okay. When he would cheat on me and I called him back so many times, so he would call me back and act like he was asleep.
That
happened 3 times, by the way.
I feel like
not being able to go to sleep.
It makes it seem like I should be the person
Oh shit.
when she's the one that did all that stuff.
Got mad at me for saying another truck we saw when we were driving was nice, and he told me to fuck off. I swear to God.
Oh my God. I couldn't say, thank you, have a nice day to the Cane's workers without him being like, do you want his number? Like,
Holy shit.
it's good customer service.
Okay. Okay. How he could go to parties and bars and go with his friends, but I couldn't go anywhere without him getting mad.
Genuinely getting mad at me because I wanted to go to a Justin Bieber concert and literally didn't talk to me and threw a fit because I had a celebrity crush.
like literally, like.
So that's like not
so easily.
Is this, wait.
Really be devastated.
When he would want me to stop talking, so he put his hands over my mouth.
Rather her.
Not being able to post myself because it meant I wanted attention from other guys.
Oh, it's the one that you said, but he would get upset with me about being excited for college.
Oh, waking up next to him, and the girl that he was supposed to block texted his phone, but it was a Snapchat glitch, and so I still went back to sleep in the house.
Snapchat glitch. Be for real.
I believed it. When he was subscribed to all these porn stars, but I was being dramatic because it's not like he could text them.
Oh,
yeah.
When my location was off and he told me that he was gonna hunt me down, and whoever I was with, he would kill them.
Oh. Got mad at me because I was getting in the way of his friendships because I got upset that he was staying at the same girl's house that he kissed.
Wow.
For months. Yeah.
When he would cheat on me, and his way of like making up for it was showing up at my front door and bringing me Chick-fil-A unannounced.
Calling me other girls' names and convinced me I was crazy and delusional because it was no big deal.
When he fucked my best friend and they hid it from me for 4 months.
Hey.
This is a list of things our ex-boyfriends did that we thought were normal, but definitely weren't. Okay, starting off strong, we went on a double date with these guys, bowling, and they, like, were complaining about paying for our $10 rental shoes the whole night. They were like, do you seriously expect me to pay?
And the guy that I was with, I was driving a Bug, so like a tiny little Beetle. He brings this giant, like, bowling rolly bag, has his own ball, has his own bowling shoes, like, he
brings everything.
He was a bowler.
And then after that date, it was freezing cold. Me and my date are in the back seat, and they're up front, and she's like, hey, will you get up and, like, pump my gas? Here's my card. And he was like, no. Like, it's cold out.
It's cold out.
And she had to go pump her own gas. One time, I literally had alcohol poisoning. I was throwing up for 14 hours straight, and her and my boyfriend were both there at the time. She stayed up with me all night while I was throwing up, and my boyfriend went out to eat with the boys.
And then I fell asleep, like, in bed with her.
Like 5 a.m.
He comes back, kicks me out of the bed thinking he's gonna get some, and I had to sleep, like, on the floor.
Romantic. Oh, that's good.
Okay, so I was dating this guy for a couple months, and we went on a little camping trip together. And it was the 4th of July, so there's fireworks going off. And he pulls out a ring and starts proposing to me. And I literally closed my eyes. I was like, put it away, put it away.
And the ring was the wrong size. Like, you tried it on
I
later.
don't know where he got it.
No, that definitely wasn't for you. Every time my ex-boyfriend referred, like, anything to my butt, he would call it boonk. Boonk. No, like, send boonk.
Okay, so this one was on Valentine's Day. And we had plans to see each other. And
nothing special. But...
yeah, just freaking seeing each other on Valentine's Day. And he calls me because it snowed, and he was like, the boys and me are building snow forts. Like, I want to feel like a kid again today. Like, this doesn't even happen, snow. So he stayed. He
didn't see her on Valentine's
to build snow forts.
My ex-boyfriend, I got him, like, all this stuff for Christmas, like, spent, like, a good $200 at least, and he got me Forever 21 sweatpants. Bright red that said Noel, with, like, a smiley face as the O, and a size too small!
Oh, no, and it had, he got you, like, $3 necklaces?
That were gold. I only wear silver.
So a personal favorite of mine is a guy I dated. He convinced me, he told me that his dad was dead. Until I met his dad.
Yeah, and then she met his dad.
Found out he wasn't dead.
I've said this one on here before. My ex-boyfriend's friend, like, punched me in the jaw, and he kind of just watched it happen and, like, didn't do a single thing.
Okay. My ex-boyfriend called me one day, and I don't know if he was trying to be, like, sweet, impressive, I don't know. But he's like,
a crazy liar.
Yeah, he's like, I ordered you all this Lululemon stuff. And I was like, what size did you get? Because I didn't, like, and he said, oh, a small.
Be fucking for real. My ex wouldn't pay for my Waffle House, so some other guy in the restaurant did because he overheard it. And he got mad at me. He got mad at me.
Things my ex-husband did that I thought were normal until I left. Whenever we would get into arguments, if it progressed long enough and he realized that he was losing the argument, he would go mute on me. He would give me the silent treatment, not for hours, not for days, but for weeks. The longest it went on was for 2 weeks, in which he pretended I didn't exist the entire 2 weeks. Anytime I tried to speak to him, he wouldn't say anything. Anytime I tried to come to the bedroom, somehow the door would end up closed, and he would lock it, and I couldn't get in. So I had to sleep on the couch for 2 weeks. Another issue was that we had twins, and they were still babies at this time, and he had the car keys. We only had one vehicle, and because he was pretending I didn't exist, he wouldn't give me the car keys, and because he was pretending I didn't exist, he wouldn't acknowledge me when I was saying that, hey, we're almost out of diapers. And I ended up having to, like, make a Facebook post in which someone brought me diapers. Now, I didn't necessarily think this next thing was normal, but I also didn't see it as being as hugely insane as I did once I was out. And that was whenever he would get mad at me, if he was eating, he would just take his bowl and he'd throw it at the wall. And I would be expected to clean it up. If he was throwing a fit and he, like, overturned our trash can, I was cleaning it up. Any mess he ever made in which he was throwing a literal adult level tantrum, it was up to me to clean up, because I knew if I didn't clean it, it wasn't going to get done. He would leave it, and he would leave it for weeks if I didn't touch it. I didn't realize it was not normal to have to ask your spouse for permission to go to the hospital. Anytime there was a medical emergency, instead of rushing straight to the ER, I first had to ask my husband and make sure that was convenient for him. And at the time, I really just thought it was normal. I thought it was normal to constantly have to check the time and try to be home as soon as absolutely possible, no matter where I was and no matter what I was doing. And this is a big one. I thought it was normal that if I gave consent once during the activity in which I consented to and he decided to change it to an activity that he knew I didn't want to do, I thought it was normal for him to proceed even though I didn't want it, and I thought that it was consensual because I had said yes to the other activity. I thought it was normal to be hyper aware of where your spouse put all of their things so that they wouldn't yell at you when they couldn't find them. And finally, I thought it was normal when he would yell at me for every single thing that would go wrong in our life. I just assumed that all husbands got angry at their wives and would yell at them. I never realized that there are people out there that aren't yelled at.
Okay, so here are some things my ex did that I thought were completely normal. Once, because he had my location, he stalked me to my friend's house. He showed up at the door, and I was staying at my friend's house, and he actually said to my friend, "Can I stay as well?" I was like, "You cannot stay. Like, what is going on?" Like, he also used to compare me to his exes, literally say things like about their style or about their attitude, and he'd be like, "Oh, you're better in this way, but you're worse in this way." Another thing was when I was busy, he used to just say, "Oh, okay, I'll just go out for dinner with another girl then." Just be like, "Oh, okay." He also wanted me to block with my guy friends that I had on Snapchat, their number on on Instagram. That was kind of where I stood my ground. I was like, no, I can't just block my friends. So yeah, I don't really know what I was thinking in that relationship, but he did have some good times, just a lot of bad.
Things my ex said to me unironically that I thought were normal, part 3, and this time I tell you guys why I stayed in that relationship that long. This one time, he asked me, "Can I please download Tinder? All my friends are on it." I was like, oh my god, how cute. At least he's asking me. Most guys don't even ask. This is a diagram of how low my bar was. So this is the earth and this is the bar, and this is where I am. The bar is so low that it's coming from the next side of the earth. You guys can judge me all you want, but you cannot judge me more than I judge myself. Also, this one time, so we were arguing and he suddenly yelled at me. He was like, "Shut the F up," okay? And hung up at me. So I texted him. I was like, "Why did you just do that? That's so mean and rude and disrespectful, everything." And he was like, "I never said that. I never hung up at you. Like, I thought you hung up or something." And I was like, "Why would I hang up?" Anyway, he just gaslit me into thinking that I was making things up in my head. A few years later, I brought this incident up to him again because I was still confused about it, and it was so weird, right? And I asked him what happened then, and he literally laughed and he was like, "Oh, that sounds funny. That sounds like something I would do." You guys have asked me multiple times why I stayed, and I have asked myself the same question. Abuse does not start overnight, and it did not happen like that for me. It started slowly, and before I knew it, I was stuck in this cycle in which he would make me feel so amazing and then instantly do something that would tear me down, say the most horrible, mean things. Like, 1 minute he's calling me beautiful, he's saying how lucky he is to have me, and literally an hour later he's calling me names, just saying the worst things about me. This left me so confused, and I used to think, okay, but he's not like that. He's a better person than this. He knew how to use guilt, fear, love to keep me from leaving. So for example, every time after the breakup, he used to hit me up and I wouldn't entertain that. He used to be like, "Why are you doing this to me? You have the power to stop this. I feel so horrible. I feel so numb. I will propose to you. I was planning to propose to you in a few months." He wasn't. He said, "I want to talk to your dad and ask for your hand in marriage." Just really insane, over-the-top promises like that. Remember that leaving an abusive relationship, it's about recognizing a pattern. I was able to recognize that hot and cold behavior, his avoidant tendencies, and the fact that he made a lot of false promises. So he used promises not as a way of creating connections and deepening trust, but as a way of manipulation. It takes so much more to break a trauma bond and to get out of an abusive relationship than to just recognize the fact that you're not feeling good. I never want any of you girls to go through what I went through. That's why I'm sharing my story. If someone does relate to this, I hope you know that you're not alone, and there's a lot of people who've been through abuse, be it man or woman. You can always reach out to someone for help.
So I dated this fucking idiot, and I'm tragically bisexual, so sometimes I date men. And I was dating this guy, and he was such a prick. He didn't have a car, which is fine. But so I drove him everywhere, never pitched in for gas once, never pitched in for anything. If we went out to dinner, I would pay, and he made more money than me. Anyway. And whenever I slept over at his house, he had one pillow and one blanket, and he refused to get more, and I would have to drive an hour to see him. So if I forgot to bring my own pillow and blanket, I couldn't like go back and get my own, and he would not share with me or get more pillows or blankets. So I'm just like laying there like on my elbow, like I fell asleep at a sleepover, like pulling up a couch cushion on top of me. And I was trying to be a cool girl so bad, and I was stifling all these things that I had problems with. Like he was really fat phobic and like annoying. And so I was just like swallowing all this stuff, and I have eczema, and my body just like exploded with eczema. Like I won't show the pictures because this will probably get taken down, but I had bright red welts like this. You know how girls just have Skittles on their vanity? Like this color on my back. And it was horrible and painful. I had to give myself injections in the stomach every 2 weeks because my eczema was so bad. And he refused to put lotion on me. He hated the feeling on his hands. So I had to get Aquaphor spray, like a goddamn geriatric, and spray it all over my body because my boyfriend was making my eczema flare up and wouldn't help me at all. But then I have a wonderful partner who's the shit, so, who's also a man, tragically. That's my 2 cents. Here are things my exes did that I thought was just totally normal. Number 1, cheat on me and tell me it was my fault, of course. This is not the worst thing on the list. So one of my exes blocked me on every single platform for an entire day because he just didn't feel like talking, of course. Come to find out, he was actually on a date, so didn't want to disrupt that. This is a good one. One of my exes told me I was getting just a little up there, a little chubby, you know, needed to watch my weight because I was 135 pounds. So I appreciate him for looking out for me. One time I wore leggings to school, and my ex told me that I need to stop dressing a little hoish and really fix my appearance. Valid. One of my exes threw my phone across somebody's backyard and broke it because somebody called me pretty. How dare they, honestly. Come back for part 2.
Hi friend, join the conversation in the comment section down below. Don't forget to subscribe, like and comment on this video. Love you for watching. Bye. Mwah.